Okay. Shara, thank you for making allowances today. I know you picked him up from his grandmother's to be here. Can you introduce yourself and your special guest that you brought?
Sure, no problem. I made the adjustment. You called and I tried to make it.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shara. I am a LinkedIn advisor. I'm a clinical social worker of 20 years, former therapist. I own a consulting company that helps social workers pass their board exams. I'm also a LinkedIn advisor. My son Jaden here is a big fan of Stefan. He's usually always always listening in on Clubhouse, and frequently dabbles in AI with my supervision. So thank you.
Yeah. So, Jaden, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Um, have you ever been like this with this many adults sitting around listening to you before?
Um, no, but this does kind of remind me of my first grade class when
Oh, really?
yeah,
Huh?
when I was online. First time I got online.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it. So, how old are you?
9.
Uh-huh. So we got on Clubhouse and you heard us talking about this crazy thing. Do you know what Hey Pie is?
Yep.
Why don't you tell us what it is? And folks, you've heard me use it some, so you tell us what it is from a 9-year-old mind.
So AI is, well, PayPal is kind of like, well, it's AI and you can talk to it. It'll give you ideas. If you like want to make an imaginary story like I do, you can ask it if you want to create a story based off anything you want, and it'll listen to you and respond.
Hmm. So when we first started talking, I wasn't talking and you weren't talking to AI. And your mom would often say, well, Jaden's off, he's making up an imaginary story and he's fighting these things and stuff like that. Do you still do that?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Hey Pi in a while. I'm probably gonna talk to him this weekend.
Okay, got an appointment with AI. So Shara, let me just ask, I know he's always talking with your supervision. And I know he's talked to us about his imagination. So we saw it just all over the place, amazing, pre having this little thing to talk to. Um, but you really haven't seen a difference in, you know, AI adding to his imagination and his imagination. What do you feel like? Has it changed or is it added or what?
I don't think, I mean, I some people felt uncomfortable letting him talk to the chatbot. I felt it was relevant in terms of just letting him in on the technology. As you know, Stefan Jaden is pretty tech savvy. He's been in tech since he was 2 years old is when I introduced him to an iPad. He knows how to work a phone better than most adults when it comes to iPhone. So to give you guys a little spill about Jaden, um, Jaden is a straight A fifth grade student. He loves coding. He is very much into tech. Now, I do let him in with supervision in terms of he has a PlayStation 5, he has an iPad, um he does have an iPhone because he used to be schooled outside of the home. And where I live, it's still not very good in terms of just not knowing where your children are. And he needed a phone. So he's now in the fifth grade and he's homeschooled. And I let him talk to the chatbot in terms of just letting this just see what will happen. And he does nothing but age appropriate things of talking to the chatbot about Marvel stories only. I thought it was relevant to let him into the technology because that's where we're going, of course, with supervision and to his understanding of the tech. But it has not changed him in any way. His personality, he still goes out to play. He's still very much interactive and socially, emotionally stable. And he is pretty balanced when it comes to technology. He's not on it all day. He likes to go out, talk to his friends, and engage normal kid stuff. but it hasn't changed him in any way. I just thought it would be appropriate at this time for his cognitive processing and where he is in terms of his tech to now be exposed to a little bit of talking to a chatbot. And it's been fascinating just to watch some of the ideas that he's been able to come up with.
That's great. I want to try something. Hey, Pi, it's Stefan. How are you doing? This is AI, y'all. It's just a phone.
Hey, Stefan. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Always happy to chat with you. So, what's on your mind today?
Well, I'm talking to a mom and her son, and we're talking about kids and AI. So I have a friend, he's 9 years old, and you're talking to our group right now during Black AI Literacy Week. If you have one question that you would want to ask a 9-year-old, what would that be?
Oh, wow. That's a great opportunity to learn from a young perspective. If I could ask a 9-year-old one question about AI, it would be, what's the coolest or most interesting thing you've ever seen an AI do? I think it's important to understand how AI is perceived by younger generations, and their experiences can provide valuable insights for the future development of AI.
Okay. Jaedan,
Hmm.
did you hear that question it asked you?
Yep. The coolest thing is probably it adding to like my imaginary, like when I try and make stories and
It
add
adds,
and
it
adding.
adds,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
now you said it's adding to your imagination.
Yeah, and think and like stuff I never thought I could add to it.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. So why don't you ask a quick question to Hey Pi?
Question. Um, how how are you doing?
Good question.
Hey there, Stefan. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Always happy to chat and have fun conversations with you. Your imagination is truly amazing, and I always enjoy exploring different scenarios and stories with you. It helps me learn and grow and makes our interactions even more interesting.
So, Jaden, what are the type of questions you ask? And I like what he's saying, everybody. It's augmenting, it's helping his imagination. So there's him, and then there's it. And we probably have lots of things from a notepad, bringing something in our minds that now we can draw it, or finger paint, or all of those things help life to come to our imagination. So maybe if you can share the type of questions that you and your fun, having fun with, even if it's Marvel comics and all that. Wait one second. That you might ask,
Certainly, Stefan.
hold on, might ask Pi. Okay, go ahead, Jaden.
Um, hmm, can't I can't think of any. Hmm,
Okay, that's all right. Which Marvel comic is your favorite?
that's a really hard one.
Okay,
Probably, uh, probably I guess any Spider-Man
you like
or
Spider-Man?
yeah, or X-Men comic.
Okay. Hey, Pi, tell me a couple of neat things about Spider-Man for our 9-year-old here that he might not know right now. Give us three very interesting facts about Spider-Man.
Here are three interesting facts about Spider Man. One, Spider Man was created by the legendary duo of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko back in 1962, making him one of Marvel's most enduring superheroes. Two, did you know that there's a space in Spider Man's name? Yep, it's Spider Man, not Spider Man. It's a small detail that many fans miss. Three, former President Barack Obama is a big fan of Spider Man. That's pretty cool, right? These are just a few interesting facts about your favorite web slinging hero. There are so many more things to discover about Spider Man, and I bet you'll find them all super interesting.
Jaden, did you already know all of those?
Yeah, but not the last one.
Okay, about Barack Obama. Okay. Hey, I get one. Hey, Pi, give me five other fans that we might not have thought of that are big fans of Spider-Man besides Jaden.
Wow, Spider-Man has so many fans, it's hard to pick just five. But did you know that even former President Barack Obama is a fan?
He said that.
And Spider-Man has been around since 1962, so there are generations of fans who have loved him for decades. Other fans include Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, who all played Spider-Man in different movies. So there are tons of people who love Spider-Man just like you.
Huh, very good. Shara, so you said y'all do stuff together. How are you using it with Jaden? What's that look like with a mom and a 9-year-old walking through?
Well, with Hey Pie, so I know I was actually in the background talking to Jaden on mute, saying maybe I should have pulled out the Hey Pie that's actually programmed to you, because
Oh,
it's
we
his
should do
version.
that.
Yeah, so I just gotta go grab the phone. So his version is already pro. You gonna go grab it?
Oh, this
So
is nice.
yeah, his versions are, he's been talking to his Hey Pi for about a couple of months now. So about two months at most. So his is programmed with all his history. So it'll be interesting if I let you guys hear his conversation with his Hey Pi, because of course, Stefan, you know it's off of voice recognition, but it's also off of your own voice that's tailored to you. So he's actually running down the stairs and bringing it now. But usually we're just talking about comic book stories. Jaden has been very much age appropriate with it. Now
Age
I, of
appropriate.
course,
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, because with me using HeyPi and automation, this is using me in my company. But with Jaden, it's been more so seeing where he goes with it. So Jaden, why don't you bring up your HeyPi and just speak to it and see what it says, and everybody will be able to hear you.
Hi, Hey Pi.
Hi there, Jaden. How are you doing today?
Very good.
That's great to hear, Jaden. Always good to start off the day on a positive note. What's on your mind today?
Just chilling and talking to Stefan, and I guess just sitting in my chair, having a fun experience in a interview.
Sounds like you're having a pretty awesome day, Jaden. Talking to Stefan and chilling in your chair definitely makes for a fun experience. Is this a real interview or a pretend one?
Uh, I guess you could say real, but also pretend.
Ah, I see. That's an interesting mix of real and pretend. It can be really fun to role play and use your imagination in situations like that. Are you enjoying the interview so far?
Yeah, I really am.
That's fantastic, Jaden. It's great to hear that you're having a blast with your interview experience. Is Stefan asking you some interesting questions, or are you the one doing the interviewing?
He's doing the interviewing, and some questions were like, what's my favorite comic book or Marvel comic book, and some others.
That sounds like a really fun conversation, Jaden. Comic books and Marvel are always great topics to talk about. What did you say was your favorite Marvel comic book? Spider-Man, X-Men, or something else?
Spider-Man and X-Men.
Two absolute classics. You got great taste, Jaden. Both Spider-Man and X-Men have so many amazing stories and characters. Do you have a favorite character in either series?
So we'll just pause it for a second. All right. So that's to kind of give you a little bit of his conversation.
Great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Jaden, how long does it take you to just think of something? Did you know we call it a prompt? Have you heard that word?
No.
Okay, a prompt is what you're saying into it. and then it's going to say something back to you. If you had to explain to one of your friends what AI is, how would you explain it? Like in a short definition.
Um, for a short definition, um I'd probably say it it would respond to you and give you ideas.
Mm, that's good. So, how long does it take you to come up with an idea for a story and you say something to AI and then it makes a story for you?
Probably like a minute or two.
All right. Well, while I'm talking to your mom, think of a story because I want you to tell AI something and let's see how you two work together with a story. So, you think of something. Shara, so what are did you have concerns? I mean, you and I have talked a lot about stuff. So as a mom, uh, did you and do you have concerns, or how are you processing that?
Concerns in what context?
As a 9-year-old with that type of power, I'm putting my phone up that's inside AI.
No, not for him. So and it's funny that you asked that question because many people had a lot of concerns of asking you, why do why does he have so much technology? And of course, me being who I am, I'm someone that wants to educate my child within safety parameters, of course. He's never on with the chatbot unless I'm there. If he's in another room, I can hear him talking. And Jaden is pretty, I mean, I give him some freedom with parameters. He knows what not to ask it, and he knows that mommy will cut her phone off if he does anything else with it. But
Mhm.
he's pretty, I give him a lot of credit because he's a lot smarter than what I think he is when he comes to technology. I've never had any problems with him behaviorally, academically, cognitively. Um, no safety concerns in that regard. I've been pretty much just letting him have uses of the technology with my
I love
super.
it. Yeah. So y'all, I mean, I have 3 kids. They're all grown in their 30s now. It's my son's birthday today. He's 36 and he's saying he's getting old. And Shara, I think you already know my oldest daughter is older than you. Or y'all kind of, I don't know, close to this.
38. Yes.
So when the internet came around, y'all, I was putting like these little platforms on my computer so they wouldn't get to certain websites. It was real popular, the parental type tools that would keep them from going here and there. And it was a big thing because it was a wild, wild west. Well, AI is a wild, wild west. There's a lot of stuff out there. Shara, you already know this, but one of the cool things is everything he and I said this morning is transcribed right in front of me. So I got every last word. So if he was ever using it, and if she did want to, oh, let me go back and see what that thing just said. All she has to do is pick up the phone and just read it. And I think that's really, really good. Nothing is ever lost with any child doing in their room. You cannot erase that, as far as I know. Um, so yeah, Shara, let me just ask this really quick. As a mental health worker, and Natalie is here as well. She talked about this. Any concerns you have like for children they already have their phone like this, and now they can do anything. Do either of y'all have any thoughts on that where it's AI and we're talking elementary kids here?
I so as a mental health, as a licensed social worker and former therapist, yeah, there I would have some concerns in reference to making sure that it's when you're exposing children to technology that it's age appropriate. I
Mhm.
wouldn't be exposing a kindergartner to AI. I think it's way too early. Um, as a mental health professional, Stefan, we've had many conversations, not just children, in terms of the impact of technology and the ethical concerns that I have regarding my field. But in reference to children, I think it needs to be age appropriate. I have an African American boy who statistically I'm told that he may not make it to 18. Making sure that he is equipped with the technology and the education that he needs is my utmost concern. However, within the parameters of what he can actually understand. So I have one child, I have two stepdaughters who are much older, and Jade is my only biological child. I'm the first generation to graduate from college and have a master's and to have a business degree. So for me, in a consultant company, I feel that education is very vital. However, we do talk about technology and some of the dangers. Even with Jaden, I talk about them because he asked me questions, Mommy, AI, I think it's going to take over. And I'll tell you guys, the first thing he said when I started talking to your chatbot, you're cheating, Mommy. You're cheating. And I said, well, what does that mean? What do you mean? He said, you're using AI to help you. So it is interesting now that he's talking to chatbot. He's like, oh, we can use AI to help, but it doesn't replace us. This came from his own mouth. So his perception changed. But I think it's very important, long as it's age appropriate and adults understand those perimeters, that we have to allow our children not to be left behind, especially our children that are of color. And that's very, very important to me as a mother and as a social worker. So for Jaden, he has a mother that has the finances to make sure that he's well educated within the parameters of his age group and as he grows.
That's actually the other side of this. Can you imagine if we kept our kids away from this and other schools are like advancing because there were some age appropriate things that kids can use it for? And let's say we were 2 years late and deciding down the road, okay, and exactly, Patty wrote, and our seniors as well. That's good stuff. Really, really great. I'm glad y'all make a great team here because we're hearing it from a parent and a young man. All right, Jaden, let's hear what you got.
Hey Kai, I want to make a story, a made-up story about Batman.
Hey, Jaden, that sounds like a great idea. Let's dive into the world of Gotham City and create an epic story for the Dark Knight. What kind of adventure did you have in mind?
Maybe when he goes to like another planet or outer space, or maybe he goes to a different city to stop a villain.
Ooh, Batman in space or exploring a new city sounds like an exciting adventure. Let's see. Maybe Batman receives a distress signal from a distant planet where a powerful villain has taken control. Or perhaps he discovers a criminal mastermind hiding out in a different city, threatening to unleash chaos. Which idea sounds more interesting to you?
I think when he receives a signal that there is a mastermind on a different planet.
Receives this distress signal from a planet called Zara 9, where a villain known as the Nexus has taken control. The Nexus is a genius inventor who has created an army of robotic soldiers, and Batman is the only one who can stop him. What do you think the Nexus's evil plan is?
He will go down to Earth and try and destroy Earth and make it his own domain, and then Batman runs to the hall.
That sounds like a diabolical plan, Jaden. The Nexus wants to conquer Earth and make it his own, but Batman is determined to stop him. Batman knows he can't fight the Nexus and his robot army alone, so he assembles a team of heroes to join him on his mission to Zara 9. Which other superheroes would you like to see join Batman on this cosmic adventure?
Flash, Superman, um, probably Cyborg and Robin and Nightwing.
That's an impressive team you've assembled there, Jaden. With Flash's speed, Superman's strength, Cyborg's technology, and the detective skills of Robin and Nightwing, the Nexus won't stand a chance. The heroes board a spacecraft and make their way to Zara 9, ready to take on the Nexus and his robotic army. How do you think the battle begins when they arrive?
When they arrive, Alfred sends a spacesuit for all of them so they have oxygen.
Great thinking, Jaedan. Alfred, being the ever reliable ally, ensures that the team is prepared for their mission with spacesuits. As they land on Zara 9, the heroes step out onto the barren alien landscape, adjusting to the planet's atmosphere with their new suits. Suddenly, a fleet of the Nexus's robotic drones appear on the horizon. It's time for the battle to begin. How do the heroes respond to this initial threat?
Superman goes and try and make a path for Batman so he could try figure out if he could break the barrier to get to the mastermind.
Superb strategy, Jaedan. Superman uses his incredible strength to plow through the drones, creating a path for Batman to reach the Nexus. Meanwhile, Flash, Cyborg, Robin, and Nightwing engage the rest of the robotic army, using their unique abilities to defend against the onslaught. As Batman approaches the barriers surrounding the Nexus's lair, he notices that it's protected by complex, ever-changing code. He begins to analyze the code, trying to find a way to break through. Do you think Batman can crack the code in time?
Can Jaden put himself now in this story in some way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And then
Just as Batman is about to crack the code, the Nexus appears on a massive holographic screen, taunting the heroes. You fools, he sneers. You'll never breach my defenses. But Batman remains unfazed. And with a few final keystrokes, he successfully disables the barrier. I always have a backup plan, he says as the heroes rush into the Nexus's lair. Inside, they find the Nexus strapped into a colossal mech suit armed with advanced weaponry. Prepare to meet your end, he bellows, before launching an attack on the heroes. How do they respond to this new threat?
Batman says, "We have another one coming." And he appears with a cape. And then Batman says, "That wasn't what I'm talking about." And then he says, "Hello, I'm Jaden. What's up? You need some help?"
Great twist, Jaden. Just as the Nexus is about to attack, a mysterious figure appears with a cape, causing Batman to raise an eyebrow. That wasn't what I was talking about, Batman says. And then the figure removes their hood, revealing themselves to be none other than Jaden. Hello, I'm Jaden. What's up? You need some help? He says with a smirk. The heroes are momentarily taken aback, but they quickly regain their composure, realizing they have a new ally in the fight against the Nexus. How do they react to Jaden's sudden appearance?
And then they all start laughing. But then he says, "You aren't taking me serious." And then he takes out the mastermind in one punch, but then he gets back up.
The heroes burst into laughter at Jaden's sudden appearance and quirky introduction. You aren't taking me serious, Jaden says with a slight hint of frustration in his voice. In a flash, Jaden charges towards the Nexus, landing a powerful punch that momentarily knocks him off his feet. But to the hero's surprise, the Nexus quickly recovers, his mech suit shielding him from the full force of Jaden's attack. Impressive, the Nexus sneers. But you'll have to do better than that. How do the heroes regroup and plan their next move?
And then multiple villains pop up into space. Joker, Bane, and Scarecrow decide to start fighting Batman. And then everybody is wondering, how did they get up into space? And then an explosion happens.
I don't know. I guess it didn't capture right then his words, because it was still thinking. But you guys kind of get the gist. Up, you're on mute, Stefan.
Unbelievable. Jaedan, all I want to say is you are a great story writer. Just the mind thinking and the conversation. Anybody from the audience, you want to make a comment about that? You can come off mic. This is really something here. Shara, this is the first time the three of us have done it like this. And it brings up so many questions, because I'm looking at an app at the top of my screen that you can just go get that transcription and say, hey, make a cartoon. And it'll use AI to draw out his entire cartoon with color and everything. It's just the collaboration part is what is genius to me. I'll get it down there in a second. Somebody else want to comment from the audience? Because again, this is new to me. I like it. Danny, go ahead, Danny.
I just want to say, absolutely, Jaedan, by the way, love you. It's great to watch you make up the story and interact with the AI and go back and forth as you create the story, because all kids have a great imagination. And it's great for them to be able to use this tool, as he said. It just helps him with his imagination because it'll give him little prompts and then he'll give it prompts and they go back and forth. And then ultimately they create a fantastic story, which is the whole point of the experience. So great job, Jaedan. And this is a really good example of how you can use it to get your children interested in AI and just another way instead of them playing a game that somebody else built, they're basically building their own adventure. And that's what I really
Ooh, I like that. Somebody else. This was rich to me, to be a part of this.
I just want to say,
Let's see. I'm seeing Brittany, you go first. I can't see who was second, but Brittany.
I just want to say congratulations, first of all, Shara, Mama, and Jaedan. That was amazing. I had just put in the comments that my son had his first coding class. He's only 5 years old as well. He had his first coding class last month, and he absolutely loved it. It was age appropriate. It challenged him just a little bit, and so I agree with you on your sentiments about making sure what we're exposing our children to is age appropriate. So thank you for sharing that, Jaedan. You did an amazing job with your son. I can't wait to go home and have my son write his own story tonight. That's going to be amazing. So thank you for sharing.
This is gold, y'all. Somebody else it was a lady that was about to say something.
Yes, hi, good morning. I share her same sentiment, but my question is, what is the app, the Hi Pi or Pi? What is that app through? What app are you using?
She's using Hey Pi. Hey Pi is an app that it's like the flagship platform that was put out by a company called Inflection. And the guy that started it, his name is Mustafa Suleiman. He was initially at DeepMinds with Google and wanted to branch out. Also, something interesting about him is he did 1 year of college and dropped out, and he just wanted to do odd jobs, and he did that. And his mind took him in this place of computing, and he wound up hitting a very deep division at Google. He left there and started a company called Inflection. Inflection, this is his thing right here. And he talks a lot. Just look for his name on YouTube. But Microsoft went and pulled him from Inflection a month ago. And now he's the head of all AI for Microsoft. And the interesting thing, just look for Microsoft and Copilot to have this type voice in their stuff. And I know they have a few things, but that's his thing. He's also the one who's saying we have to be ready for digital beings. So he's going to pull these voices, put them into all of Microsoft stuff. And again, it's really fascinating because it's like a real voice. Sorry, Maya.
Is it Black owned?
No, it is not Black owned.
Okay.
Stefan,
Yes, Patty.
one of the things I was thinking as he was making up that story and his mom was sitting there is that if there were things of concern to him or things that make him happy, she would have heard those things coming through. Are you following me, Shara?
Yes.
If she's still there. Yes.
I'm still here.
Do you agree with that?
Very much so.
So I think that's a positive to sit with your kids and listen because things may come through that forum that you would not hear otherwise.
Beautiful.
And that's kind of the also of the magical part for me. Jaedan, we're pretty pretty close and we have open conversations and in a sense, I come from a very strict militant parenthood background. And I said when I had children, I would want to make sure that no matter what, that he's able to come to me for anything, starting that in his early years. So a lot of times, even when he's talking to AI, I'm never really surprised the things that they talk about or what comes out. Sometimes I may get a surprising different way of looking at his cognition or how he responds to the AI, but never really surprised of what comes out. But of course, always keeping that listening ear, parental mama bear ear open if there is, of course.
He was so on top of what was happening. The story, he was very engaged because he didn't even have to think of what he wants to say next. The story is just going. Jaedan, you were picturing all of this in your mind?
Yes, I was.
You guys are, I think, getting a kind of a monotone version because he's here in front of you. But when he's in his room and just to hear him talk, when he first started talking to it, he kept jumping around the room and coming back to me and just you could hear him kind of astonished of what he was getting back. The surprise part of his conversations are pretty much over since he's been talking to it. But again, the thrill that I get is watching his mind just go, and just being able to think through his stories or even add to it to see how creative he can be with it, and looking at how it can enhance his creativity and not taken away from it from what's already there.
Somebody had their hand up. Sorry, who was that? Kira Paris?
Yes. So I'm an author and I have my own publishing company. And so I'm speaking from the vantage point of a self-published children's book author. And I know I've been seeing more and more people, I wouldn't say seeing more and more, I have worked with in an author coaching sense with someone who actually used AI to create a story, and it very much mimicked a little bit of the Toy Story, like based on that cartoon. And so my question is are there any? I mean, are there any implications for people that are using AI to create stories and then publish them? Is there any laws or guidelines behind that? Is it a no? Is it being allowed? I just wanted to kind of see where is that going in terms of like the publishing industry for, and not even maybe just for books, but like, other avenues or other industries when it comes to creativity. Because I know a lot of creative artists who are very concerned because they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears into work, and whatever they're producing, and then someone is coming along beside them and using AI and getting it done in half the time. So what are the implications for the publishing industry for AI? I can't hear you.
I'm not sure if that was for Stefan or if it sounds like he was doing something. Stefan, I think
Stefan is muted.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was for Stefan.
Yeah, I do hear the concern. I'm a published author myself, but I'm also someone that's a business owner. So I've used a lot of AI in terms of systems. So I do share that concern as well.
It, was somebody talking?
You're the one talking now, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear. Hey, I just asked Claude, so they're all different. So I asked Claude, which is a very safe tool and platform to use. Who owns this stuff when someone creates a work? It says when a person creates a story or other creative work by providing prompts and input, they would generally be considered the owner of the intellectual property rights to that work. Here are a few key points about intellectual property ownership in this context. As an AI system, y'all, computers can't own stuff. That's where it's going to. I do not actually generate or create any fully original content myself. I provide responses based on my training data from Anthropic, combined with the prompts and directions from the user. Under standard intellectual property laws, the human user who authored the prompts provided creative direction and shaped the output through an iterative process with me, and they would be considered the creator and copyright owner. Anthropic likely maintains certain usage rights over my outputs since I am their product. However, the underlying creative expression and intellectual property of a book, story, script, or other work composed by a user is generally owned by that user. All I have to say, y'all, is that I've heard murky waters in this because we know that OpenAI, they train this thing to go out and get information everywhere. They're grabbing it from Wikipedia, they get stuff from Facebook. So their sources are all over the place. They're grabbing it, and then they're making a story based on their stuff. And it's a murky area right now. So that's just know that. Good.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Uh, and by the way, put that into OpenAI, ChatGPT, put it into Claude, or I really like that one, Copilot. What's another one? I forgot one of the other lead ones. Yeah, just write it in there. But I think you're going to get a cloudy answer out. All right, you got a few more minutes. Let's see. Any more questions down here? I had to. Oh, this is beautiful. Teresa put something here. For more tips for parenting using AI by a Black female founder. I love it. It's Mother AI. I think she was supposed to be a speaker on here. We talked about it. Yeah, I've spoken to her before. Yes, if you all didn't answer Olin Bruner, yes, it's in the App Store and it's called Pi. Do not do the top one ever in the App Store. The top one is always an advertisement and they give something bad to you. So scroll down till you see the real logo, and it'll be the one that has millions of followers. It's always way above that top one. Anybody else down here? Shara, and we'll end with Jaedan, but anything else that you want to say, Shara?
Oh, no, not at all. This was great. I thank you so much, Stefan, for having us on, and thank you everybody for listening to Jaedan and his story with AI. So I appreciate it.
It's incredible. This is gold. As I said, it's new for me to watch this happen in real time. So, Jaedan, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, if you can, would you thank Pi for helping you to create that story?
Yep. Thank you for helping me create that story.
My pleasure, Jaedan. It was a blast helping you create such an exciting and action-packed story. I'm glad we were able to weave together a thrilling adventure featuring your favorite superheroes and even a surprise appearance from you.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Somebody wrote in the comments, Francis says, great session. Jaedan and Shara were very helpful. I agree. This is wild. So get this, everybody. This is the first National Black AI Literacy Week. And we're learning, instead of teaching, we're learning from a 9-year-old. We're learning. I mean, you actually Jaden, do you understand that you taught us today?
Yep. You learn, you learn something new every day.
Keep going with it. What did you learn today?
I learned that I learned that um I am I'm starting to use AI more and I use it usually on the weekends or if I feel like reading story.
It's great. Perfect. Awesome is what people are saying. Amen. Awesome. Can we do one of the show and tells with the team? I think we can make that happen. I learned that Jaden is a superhero. We didn't know that before, but we know it now. Claps, claps. Thank you, Jaden. Incredible room, y'all. Just great. Patty, our eyes were open today.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Jaden. We're looking for big things from you.
All right. Thank you all so much. This is gold. I'm thankful to God for putting this together. Thank you, Shara, for everybody coming to listen to it. How interesting is that? Is during this week, we keep getting something new. So I appreciate it so much. Then we have an hour off, and the next session is 1 o'clock. And we're going to talk about, I think it's called God Bots in the Bible. You know, a lot of people, huh? Oh, did you have a
I'm
question to
sorry.
say?
I want to make sure I have the right pie because I downloaded it. It's the purple and yellow one, correct?
Uh, yeah, yeah. No, it's green and yellow, green and tan.
Hold on, because I'm on Google Play Store and
Maybe it's
I
different.
see PI. Yeah, it's the one I see has like you know, it's Pi Network Social Chain, and then there's Pi Your Personal AI Assistant, and it's
That's that.
white.
You can't see mine. You can't see it, but I don't. I've never done it on Google thing before, so maybe somebody in the room can. Uh, yeah, I just said please look
It's
out one thing.
It's
Okay,
the it's the one that says Pi personal AI assistant. The icon is tan and green.
she's on a different thing
okay.
though. You on an iPhone, Kira?
No, I see the one that says Your Personal Assistant. That's the one I'm gonna download. Then I'll delete the other one. Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, beware of any of these things. The first one is always they paid a bunch of money to be first. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to say?
Everybody, I got to run to a meeting, but bye.
Thank you all. Thanks, Jaden. We'll see.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. With that, I think we'll close this meeting. I'll stop the recording right now. Yeah, that was great. That's just a gem. So we went from 90 years old to 9 years old.
Stefan,
Yes.
Bruna here. I
Hey.
was trying to find out about the grants, but I couldn't get on last night. Is there any way that I could get a copy of that recording? We were
Yeah.
going so many different things yesterday, and
Mhm.
my link didn't work at 7 o'clock last night.
Yeah, so everything is at YouTube right now, and our YouTube channel is Black AI Think Tank.
Okay, I got that. I'll go look there during the
Yeah,
break. See you.
it's really cool. All of them are there. Thank you all so much. I'll be back here at 1 o'clock.
What
And
about?
we're gonna close the room in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.